Hey family, it's Netta back at you with Black Lives Count. So, unfortunately, about an hour ago, in the Karmelo Anthony case, came down the verdict, and he has been found guilty. So, family, this is the unjustice system of America, and we know this to be the case. Our people have always been persecuted and wrongly prosecuted in America for over 400 years, and this will never stop. It will never end until we are separated from these people. That time is coming soon. I really believe it is. But meanwhile, while we are here with this demonic entity, what I would say is be careful. Know where your children are. Know who they are befriending. Yeah, I'm not trying to say all white people are inherently evil, but 99% of them are inherently evil and vicious. So I would say keep your children in near you, or if they can't be near you, know where they are and who they are with. We have too many cases that are coming up of young black people that are or have befriended Caucasian youth and something has happened to them. Now the Carmelo Anthony case was not that. Those boys were not his friend, Austin Metcalf and his brother. They were just bullies. And apparently, um, many of the other children at the school have been bullied by them. But what happened? See, this shows you how white America gets on board with bullshit and lies. Okay? Rather than the truth, they don't want the truth. They just wanted a conviction because they felt a white youth had been unalived and that was it. But not even caring about what precipitated that, uh, you know, unalivement of him, that he was the aggressor, he was the bully, and not only in this case, but in other cases. And it's sad. It's sad that um, a young man's whole future can be just cut off and thrown aside for protecting himself, defending himself. He was found guilty, okay, and told he should have walked away or he should have went and got somebody, but Daniel Penny was not. Just think about that, family. Just think about that. See, what they are saying subliminally to you is don't protect yourself. But I'm going to tell you, family, always try to find a nonviolent way to protect yourself. But if you are met with violence of someone coming after you and trying to hurt you, then by any any means necessary, you must do what you have to do to survive and go home to your family. And that's just that. You know, we're not living back in the day where they felt they could do anything to us. Yeah, uh, Carmelo might be going away, but that kid is not going to be here anymore. See, white people, let me tell you this: teach your children to keep their hands to themselves. Don't think that Carmelo Anthony's ruling will mean that black people will not protect themselves, because they will. That boy was at least 80 pounds bigger than Carmelo, okay? And he was a violent boy. He was a violent boy. But see, when they say that you will be tried by a jury of your peers, that's not what they mean. They mean you'll be tried by a jury of their peers, which is what happened in this case. Because it was an all white jury. Not one melanated person was on that jury. That never happens when it's a white defendant. It's almost always a predominantly white jury, and they may throw in one or two blacks and an Asian or somebody, okay? Which is just like with the Asian putting in another white person. So, you know, but family, this is why, you know, I have lived in many different neighborhoods. I've had all white neighbors, I've had all black neighbors, I've even had predominantly all Asian neighbors. Never with the black neighbors nor the Asian neighbors have I ever had issue. In fact, I even had uh, some Mexicans in there too. Never have I had an issue. In the When I had all white neighbors, I stayed to myself, or we stayed to ourselves. So we didn't have an issue. You know, my husband was a veteran, and so a lot of the people liked him for that fact, but we predominantly stayed to ourselves. But I'm going to say, I have raised my children, and I am helping raise my grandchildren to be careful of a certain demographic. I'm not saying we have to be hostile to anybody, but those people are not our friends. That is the message we should be teaching our children so that they don't have to worry about certain situations. As I said, this situation was not that. He was not friends with those boys. I don't think he really knew them other than probably having a run in with them before once or twice. I'm sure. Because they had a reputation for that. Somehow none of that came out. I even heard rumors that the prosecutor is somehow uh, has some kind of relationship with Austin and Metcalf's Austin's dad and the DA. Now, if there was no previous relationship, then one has since developed since all of these happenings have occurred. But we know that bigotry, racism, and hatred goes hand in hand. And a lot of these people that are unfortunately judges in the courts, as prosecutors, as law enforcement, as many different uh, fashions of life in America are white supremacists. Period. End of statement. They are. And this is why the unjustice system is so unjust, especially towards black Americans. So, what I say, you know, the things I know now that I didn't know before. I live in a wonderful community, and it's predominantly black. There's a lot of Caucasians and others too, some Asians and uh, others. But it's a wonderful community, and you have to watch your children. We've had in our block people come look like they looking around for children. Those people are 29, that demographic, that male demographic in that community. 29% of the community, of the overall community, and upwards of 90% of the people that like children and get aroused by children. So right there, you think about who's raising their kids. What kind of morals and values are they being taught? Other than it's because I said so and I'm white. I would just say, family, know that um, we need to separate as much as we can. I'll buy several homes and I will never buy a home in an all white community. I enjoy seeing my people and being around my people, going to parks and seeing my people, going to lakes and seeing my people, going to theaters and restaurants and shopping and seeing my people. But I'm very saddened for Carmelo Anthony and his family. I'll ask you all to pray for that young man and his family because they really need it. These are very trying times, family. And I say we have to really watch ourselves and our children. I keep advocating for black parents to homeschool their children. There are so many, well, there's a couple black owned homeschool programs that black women and men are running. He was a smart young man. Though he may have wanted to go into school and participate like that because he was in extracurricular programs, after school. Mm, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of these sports are tied to white supremacy anyway. I mean, could you imagine if black people all left all of these sports programs that are white ran and black men started started programs that black children could participate in? We have to think about the long game, family, because I guarantee you, the demon that we are within these borders of the United Snakes do all day long is try to play for the long game. So my heart goes out to his family, it really does, and him. That young man does not deserve to be railroaded, but he was railroaded. And I still say, family, protect yourselves by any means necessary. Get legal and do what you need to do. Peace, love, and blessings, family. And I thank you so much for watching the video. If you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you over here and subscribe with us. We're family. If you are a subscriber and been rocking from the beginning, I appreciate you and I love you all. So, family, I just want you all to be blessed, be prosperous, and have peace. Black power. Bye bye.